Building a strong team of Titans is very important as having a strong team of heroes. But which Titans should you build? Which teams should you build? And why it's such a huge difference between building a hero team. But before we get into that, if you are new to the channel and you like Hero Wars Dominion era style content, Facebook and web version of the game, then consider subscribing. Turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And as a big thanks to doing so, here's a picture of my French Bulldog Remy dressed up like an Earth Titan.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero War Central, and in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about Titan team building, why you're overthinking it. Now, before we get into it, there is a brawl event happening right now, Eden's Brawl. It's a very straightforward event. You have to get 22 wins in a day, whether you buy more lives or not. Get the 22 wins in the day. You're going to get your defenses. The defenses don't really matter. Just throw a team in there. It doesn't really matter too much. But since we are on the subject of Titans and Titan team building, I wanted to discuss a very common misconception that new players might have whenever it comes to building a Titan team. Whenever you are looking at all the Titans to choose from, reading through the abilities, for example, Ignis, the attack of all allies can be increased with Ignis's Burning Blood ability. That sounds really good. A lot of players build the hero Nebula because she boosts the damage output of physical attackers and magic attackers in front of and behind her. This hero boosts physical attack and boosts magic attack. You also have a hero like Sebastian, who can boost the critical hit rate and can boost the extra damage whenever that hero does do critical hits. And those two heroes are very popular and very common heroes to level up for your main teams. Unfortunately, that doesn't work for Titans, and that is because Titans are dominated by the totem system. So taking a look at all of the available Titans, we go to the Circle of Summoning here. There are 5 elements, and there are 4 Titans of each element. Now, on the mobile version of the game, they are rolling out a 5th Titan. There's already a 5th Earth Titan. They're about to launch a 5th Fire Titan. I have no idea if Facebook and web, Hero Wars Dominion era, is going to get a 5th Titan for each element. It is likely that they're always going to be adding Titans, whether it's a new element or a 5th Titan to the existing elements. We don't really know for sure. Now, the main 3 Titans that the game started off with are the Fire Titans, the Water Titans, and the Earth Titans. The Darkness and Light Titans were added later, and this isn't all. There's skins and artifacts, and of course the totem system. Whenever you go to the Titan Valley, up here you have the elemental spirits, right? Everybody knows about the totems, and they're expensive. We do have a new thing coming called Totem Fusion. That's around the corner. It's going to be leveling up and customizing your totems. We don't really need to get into that very much right now. But I do want to go back and talk to Ignis's effectiveness. Now, Ignis, and I'm picking on Ignis because of his very straightforward, very generic ability to increase the attack of all allies. Now, every single Titan that you have has an ability, and the Super Titans happen to have 2 abilities, and for the most part, these abilities are modified in a similar fashion to your heroes. Bonus attack makes bonus damage, bonus defense causes, longevity, healing, and all of that. But generally speaking, all of the skills, not all of them, but most of them are modified by attack. You can see this 65%, 125% attack damage each. You have Kyros here that's got 13% attack and 330%. Those attack things in the parentheses there. That's kind of the modifier for this skill. So you'd think that Ignis, being one of the only Titans that can increase the the attack stat of allies, you'd think Ignis would be great, but it's actually not the case. So what you have here is you have a system that is basically locked into a 3+2 team composition. So you have the base 3 elements that I discussed a few times already, fire, water, earth, right? And if you read this little line right here, available if your team has at least 3 water titans on the battlefield, available if your team has at least 3 earth titans on the battlefield, and then you have the darkness and lights. These totem skills are available if your team has at least 2 Dark Titans or 2 Light Titans. So unfortunately, we have this very complex, very robust, gorgeous not quite rock, paper, scissors system with hero fighting, right? You have dodge heroes and magic attack heroes and pure damage heroes. You have tanks and healers, supports, controls, nuance after nuance, exceptions, best healer, worst tank, all of that. But with Titans, you are locked in to 3+2. And specifically 3 of one of these top 3 and 2 of one of these bottom 2. Now, which are the best? Unfortunately, that doesn't exist because earlier I mentioned the rock, paper, scissors of heroes and the lack thereof. Titans are more rock, paper, scissors than heroes, but still there is some exceptions and all of that. But generally speaking, there are a set couple of teams that work well against other teams. And you have tools like the Hero Wars Guide, Brawl Calculator to kind of break down which teams are going to be good against what. And in some instances, you do use multiple elements. Like, for example, this team right here, you're using 3 fire, an earth, and a water. But that is actually a weaker overall Titan team to build. And it's only good in this one niche instance. So we only have a small handful of teams that this team is good against. And even then, they're not all 100%. So you're going to be better off building the 3+2 kind of team composition. And generally speaking, I would almost always tell you to ask your guild, what teams is your guild struggling against in Guild War and in Clash of Worlds? If your guild says, hey, we could use more Fire Titan teams, then that's the team that you should build. If your guild is saying, hey, we could use more Water teams, then Water plus Darkness or Water plus Light is what you should, aspire to. Whenever I first started playing Hero Wars, my guild suggested that I started an Earth team, so that is the team that I'm building, and Earth plus Light is the best kind of combo, although Earth plus Darkness, and in some cases Earth plus Fire or Water, is actually really good as well. And because of that, over the last 6 years, I've built up a 6-star Light Totem and a 6-star Earth Totem. You do want to level the other totems up eventually, but that's a lot of money, it's a lot of resources, and it just gets kind of expensive, right? It is worth saying that some are better elsewhere than others. For example, in the dungeon, the Water Titan team is a little bit better. Whenever you're going to the dungeon right here, you have the ability to heal with the Water Titan team. And Hyperion, the Super Titan, is kind of the main feature in this discussion. And while you do need all Titans leveled up to go very far in the dungeon in a day, this discussion is a little outside the scope of today's video, but there is a way that you can basically go infinite in the dungeon if you have a strong enough Water and Earth Titan team. Okay, so that's something to consider. If you are at a loss for the best Titan teams to build, I would probably say just build Water Light, right? It's not going to be the best every time in player versus player, but it will help you earlier in the dungeon whenever you're trying to farm up more and more gold. Maybe you're trying to get lucky and get a totem fragment out of the dungeon. That's going to be generally what I would suggest to most new players, Water and Lights. And for what it's worth, the only way to guarantee a totem fragment of your choice is the first 2. If you have 2 or more, you're out of luck. The first 2 totem fragments that you get are guaranteed to be of the element that you have the highest power level. So you add all of your Titans' power levels up, whichever team element has the highest power level, be it fire or darkness or earth or what have you. Whenever you get a totem at random from an event, from the altar of elements, it's going to be that Titan element, okay? And then the 3rd all the way to the 30th is going to be completely random. So if you're not building a Water/Light team to go far in the dungeon, I would actually recommend people build Fire and Darkness. I think that of all of the Titan teams that are available, the most common is going to be the Water team. Okay, the Water team is going to be the most common because of what I just said, going deep in the dungeon, having the healing, the Light team as well. And what is good versus Water, and that's Earth. Okay, so a lot of people that are like to be contrarian, that like to be spiteful, that like to be countery, kind of like what I did, honestly. are going to build the earth slash darkness or earth slash light teams so they can counter all of those water teams, because again, water teams are generally speaking the most popular. And by the way, I don't have any data to back this up. I have no idea how many of each team is leveled up. I have no idea. It just seems that's kind of the general discussion. What Titan team should I build first? Build the water team so you can go deep in the dungeon. And then earth naturally counters water. Well, fire and darkness, I think, are the least popular and probably the most in demand. And I do feel like fire and darkness are overall a higher win rates versus a larger variety of the field. But again, it's just a feeling. I have no facts. I have no statements, no empirical evidence whatsoever. Ultimately, build what you want to build, right? If you like the look of the Light Titans, build the Light Titan team. Right? If you like the look of their fire or water or whatever, go with it. In the end, you're going to have options. Okay, you're going to have options. You go into your guild war, you take a look at all of the different locations that are going to be on defense. Look, there's a fire and darkness, there's a fire and earth, there's a darkness and earth, there's an earth and water. In a bastion of fire has got earth and darkness, earth and light, here's a light and fire. My point is there's plenty of opportunities to attack into. There's plenty of variety of teams on defense that no matter who you decide to build first, you're going to have somebody that you can attack. And then it's just a matter of talking to your guild's officers to make sure that you get that opportunity to attack that person instead of a team that you're going to be weak against. In Clash of Worlds, it's even more broad. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 locations that you can attack with various Titan teams, right? Lots and lots of opportunities, different varieties on defense, and obviously attacking is going to be up to you. And don't overthink the defense, by the way, because there is no impossible to beat team. It doesn't exist. Every single Titan team can be beaten, right? Same with hero teams. So don't overthink this. If you want to just be good, general purpose in the dungeon and player versus player, guild war, Clash of Worlds, brawls, all of that, build a water team, right? If you want to be a little bit more unique and cool and edgy, I guess, then fire and darkness is the way to go. But the 3+2 is generally what everybody's going to be building. And that is because of this totem or elemental spirit system, which is not going anywhere. It is what it is. So let me know in the comment section down below what kind of teams you're having luck with in the Titan Brawl. I'm very eager to hear what everybody has to say. I got through the 22 wins almost 100% using these 4 first row Titans. It's just super fast, and it didn't win every time, but it won the first 22 or so. And once I was making the video after the fact, I did end up losing once or twice. So there you go. Again, please consider subscribing if you like Hero Wars Facebook and web content videos. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.